Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. It's a new homework week. We managed to do 2 weeks in a row. Yay! I am here tonight with Vicki from Reading and Stitching, also the headmistress of School of Magical Stitches. We have Lisa from Shady Tree Stitchers or Paddock Lane Designs on Instagram and Facebook. And then tonight joining us is Natalie, and she now has a floss tube and she is knitting at stitches. So she's joined us before, but she didn't have a floss tube then. Okay, so, oh, and happy birthday, Natalie.
Happy birthday, Natalie.
Happy birthday, Natalie. I need my birthday hat.
Yeah.
Don't have one.
Okay, so we have Magical Stitches, we have Daily Cross Stitcher Journal on Daily 30, which is a closed group, and we have Enchanted Stitches, and then the craziness of semi-sane to all go over. We don't have any monthlies, so this one should be fairly reasonable. So Vicki, why don't you start us off with Magical Stitches?
Okay, so we are finishing Maleficent's story. We find out some major secrets. So for task 1, Maleficent and the Odd Sisters created their daughters by giving the best of them. Stitch on something that brings the best of you. 200 stitches.
Oh man, I'm first.
You are.
When I set us up. Okay, so I have to be honest, I'm trying to fit magical study into as much as possible while I have it on the docket this month, because I just started it. Trying to share my screen. So this is it. And for me, magical study really reminds me of my daughter. She's a brunette. Her room usually looks like that, you know, crazy, and she's always sketching. This one's writing, but it could be the same thing. And there's a lot of times I feel like my daughter is the best part of me. So I'm going to go with magic study. Natalie?
Ooh, the best of me. I'm going with St. Andrews. I'm trying to fit this one, like you, into as many things as possible. St. Andrews, it's a place where I spent some time. My husband spent some time. It's got a lot of really good memories, and the basis, you know, it's where we had a lot of our relationship developing.
Okay.
So yeah.
I have found this one a tricky one, bring out the best in me. So I decided something that had some qualities I admire in it. And Bird in Hand is one I started this week. And I really love these Told in the Garden ones with the Amish quilts and the getting back to the roots and the simple way of life. So things are always better when it's simpler.
Okay, so I'm kind of like Sammy. Tomorrow for me is Magic Study Monday, because that's when I'm going to work on my Magic Study design. And because she's always reading, I am a huge reader. So as my channel name, Reading and Stitching, that's me. So that really brings out the best of me, because I love to introduce new books to my students. You know, if I can talk about a book, I'm happy.
And can you remind us of the stitch count, please?
200. Okay. Task 3. I cannot say her name, so I just make it up in my head on how I think it sounds.
Task 2?
Task 2, yes. So task 2, C-I-R-C-E, that's her name in the story.
Circe.
Circe. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I just kind of put a name in my head, you know, and read it. Was working with Snow White at the Odd Sisters' house. When Maleficent needed to get her attention, the house picked up and moved itself. It was using its protection spell. Stitch 200 stitches on a project that has something you would protect.
I'm going to go with Magic Study again, because she reminds me of my daughter. This is going to get cheesy here in a minute. And I would protect her. So.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
I'm going to spin it a little bit. I'm going to go with Sleeping Bee by Blue Flower. And
because the flower is protecting the sleeping bee, but also bees protect the hive. And I really like honey. So yes, that's something I would protect. And there's a lot of protecting going on.
I'm going to spin it even more. I'm going to protect this fairy. Her name is Caprice, and she is definitely worth protecting because fairies are important mythological creatures.
Well, I am literal, and I am going to work on my advent calendar because I would protect my cat and dogs. So I'm going to work on my advent calendar. Okay. Task 3. Now, Maleficent went to battle against the Oberon, the tree lord. And since it was a battle and he's a tree lord, you must stitch on the tree. You do 100 stitches on a tree. Now, if you finish your tree within 50 stitches, just continue on, but you have to put at least, if you finish the tree, you're fine, but if you don't, you need to put all 100 stitches in your tree. So you have to stitch on a tree.
All right. Well, and of course there's penalty if you don't have anything with a tree.
Right, there is. It's 150 penalty.
Right.
100 stitch, only 100 stitches. This is not double up. This is just.
Okay. And I'm going to pull out Tired Trio.
Oh, so cute.
I have plenty of tree over here. We should get all 100 stitches in that tree. No problem.
Problem there.
Headmistress, can I ask a question? Does it have to be the tree, or can it be parts from a tree?
Okay, I need more detail on that.
So, for example, with Sleeping Bee, which I will share again, it's got a bit of branch and some leaves, or are they pine?
That would be okay because that is part of a tree.
Okay, great. Well, I will be stitching on that. Otherwise, I was going to do penalty stitches.
Okay.
Would I be correct in presuming, Madam Headmistress, that it's basically because of the branch? If you just had a couple of
Because
leaves,
of the
it wouldn't
branch.
be.
The branch is right. The branch is still attached with the leaves. Because
great.
One of my thoughts was, whenever I did this, was that I could use. I'm not using this, but I could use my owl because you can't see the tree, but you know she's sitting on a branch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to make life difficult. I'm going to stitch on a tree because there are plenty of trees in my little house neighbourhood. And I'm on the middle row, and in fact, I'm actually up to doing the tree in the centre. So, bonus.
Bonus.
Well, I'm going to stitch on my Henson with the funky looking reindeer because they're all standing over a tree. I don't know why they're standing over a tree, but they are.
Little Christmas trees, are they?
So I've got some funky little reindeer over a tree. So that's what I'm going to be working on.
Cool.
Okay. Hang on. My phone went to sleep. Task 4. Maleficent had planned to kill Aurora on her 16th birthday to prevent her gaining her powers. Stitch 200 stitches on a whip that you wouldn't wish on anyone. Wow, we all went quiet.
We're finding our
Autumn
whips.
wreath, autumn wreath, autumn. Oh man, no.
I mean, kind of, because I'm in just that stitching now, so maybe. But I haven't pulled this one out in a really long time, and part of the reason is because I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But I like the way it looks in the end. It's just the actual stitching that's a pain. So I think this is a good one to pull this one out for.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't have a screenshot of this one, unfortunately, but I'm sure a lot of people know the part of the 2020 Linen and Thread sale, April. It's huge. It's a mountain, and I just got to get it done.
Well,
I don't
I'm
need for that.
no, I'm similar. It's my modern folk embroidery because it's been causing me pain lately, and I was meant to work on it this week and I managed to avoid it. Yes. So who knows if I'll avoid it again, but at the moment it's definitely the one I would not wish upon anyone.
Okay. So mine, I was going to try to show you, but no, I can't. Winter on the Village, because don't get me wrong, I love it. There's all whole stitches. The problem is there's so much back stitching that I am dying on this. Back stitching on this. So that's what I would do. And the last task. Her story ends with this sentence: but she did not know for the first time that she had a true family in Snow White, Nanny, and Tulip, and she wanted nothing more to get back to Morningstar Castle so she could tell Nanny and Tulip the rest of Maleficent's story. Stitch 300 stitches on your favorite whip. You need to tell a story about your favorite whip and why it's your, spin a story about it and why it's your favorite whip. So 300 stitches on your favorite whip.
Okay. I think right now that would be Magic Study for me, because it's the colors. It's, you know, like I said, I feel like she's sketching in that book, because it reminds me of my daughter, and she will sit there and sketch for hours and all, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna have a fun little story to go with that.
Lovely. I am going to stitch on my Shakespeare's fairies. Despite the pain that I had with them this week just gone, it is my favourite whip, and I'm really enjoying stitching on it.
This is a hard one because I have lots of favorite whips. So I decided my favorite whip this week is going to be this one, Farmhouse Christmas, because I'm planning to work on it for some other things. And I really love it. It's a quick and easy stitch, and I think the little farm scenes are so cute. So that's going to be my favorite whip this week.
So my favorite whip right now, and it is because I put 1,700 stitches in it yesterday alone, is my Yellowstone piece. I just remember the amazing vacation and going on the animal wildlife tour and watching Old Faithful, and just Mark and I would sit there and we went out and for like 3 hours just watched the buffalo graze. So to me, that was a magical time, and so that right now is my favorite whip. Okay, that is Magic Study.
And now almost 300 stitches for your favorite whip.
Yes, and if you don't have a favorite whip, you can always do penalty on 450, which I don't know why they would choose that one, because, you know.
You can make anything your favorite of the day.
You can literally make anything your favorite of the day, but I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Lisa, you want to take over with Daily 30?
Sure. So because in America it was Father's Day yesterday, this week is all about famous fathers. So as usual, you can build your own challenge. You can add an extra 100 stitches if you want to do the equivalent of penalty stitches. And there are lots of different prompts. So the first one, Johann Sebastian Bach stands out as one of the most significant composers of the Baroque and classical music. But did you know he had his own expansive brood? He fathered 20 children, although only 10 made it to adulthood. Put some stitches into a whip that has at least 10 different parts that make up the whole design. And you can do 300, 400, or 500, or double. Big stitchy week from Cheryl.
Vicky, it'll be
Oh, I'm first? Oh, I will be using my advent calendar because there are 25 of them little suckers that I got to get done. So, and I'll be doing the 500, maybe 600, because I can double that. I can do more, right?
Yeah, you can do up to 1,000.
Okay.
Okay,
if you wish.
I'm going to do Legendary Creatures because it was a SAL and it came out in 12 different parts, even though it can't really tell that from this piece. Well, I guess you can because it's missing some of them. So, and that way I can double dip it with homework.
Mm-hmm. I'm not in Cheryl's group, but if I was, I would do the linen and thread sale because that's got parts that come out every month. So 12 months, that's more than 10.
Yes, it'd be good to know if there's ever an opening. I know that Natalie would be very keen to jump in it.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint, if anyone's watching who has any say in the matter. Okay, well, this one, I have quite a few pieces with different parts like that. And there are the different, like you say, the different cells, and I could divide up them, but I'm a bit more literal. First one that came to mind was my Village of Hawk Run Hollow, because it's got 12 different squares. If I want to do 300, 400, 500 or more stitches on that when I've just done 1,000 on it last week. So I'm not sure if I will, but I could also, I don't know what you think of this one, guys. My Do Re Mi Sing a Song sampler, because there are 10 different sections, Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do. So even though it only got published in 5 patterns, each pattern has 2 sections. You reckon that would do?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that
So,
8?
Do, re, mi, fa, so, fa.
It says
I
part
can't count.
3 of
Okay.
4.
Oh, okay. I can't do that one. I can't count.
You can do Hawk Run Hollow. Do your Hawk Run Hollow.
Run hollow.
Yep. All right. Hawk Run Hollow will be. Do you need to see? Do you need to see a Hawk Run? I can dig a Hawk Run up. See a Hawk Run. Hold on. Show you a Hawk Run. Where's my Hawk Run? Here's my Hawk Run.
Hollow.
I'm down this bottom box, so I've just got to finish this one here and go down there. Okay. Next one. Despite his knowledge about potential genetic mishaps from inbreeding, Charles Darwin married his first cousin and devout Christian Emma Wedgwood. They had 10 children, although 3 died before the age of 11. Stitch on a piece that could be a relative of another piece you're working on.
Oh, okay. So I've got 2 choices here, and y'all tell me which one y'all like better. I have, and I started this one tonight, so I have 2 options. And where's the photo? Come on. Oh, there it is right there in front of me. I have Celtic Autumn that I am converting. And, okay, yeah, I have to do 2 starts today because bad planning on me. I have Night Nymph. Which one do y'all like better? You want to see the fabrics?
I think you should do Celtic Autumn because she's definitely related to the Celtic Spring and Summer that you've started. So
Yeah, but I've also started Day Nymph.
well, true.
So
like
which one
Celtic
do y'all
Autumn.
like? Sammy?
I think I like Celtic.
I like Celtic.
Celtic it is.
You really wanted us to say nymph, didn't you?
You did.
I did. I did because it's got such cool threads. These has got those Valdani threads, the 6-stranded Valdani threads. Oh, they're so pretty.
Well, then stitch on the night nymph then.
No, y'all pick this one. This is the one I'll do. But I do like this fabric. It's pretty. What, Sammy?
Maybe it'll fit into something else. Keep it in mind.
Maybe. Okay, Celtic it is.
So I can go 2 ways with this one. I can either do Tired Trio because it's related to Fox View, which I just finished, or I can use my Forever and Ever because I also have its companion piece, Marian Bright, in works. It'll really depend on what else we've got coming down the line, but Forever and Ever would be double dipping with Scavenger Hunt, and Tired Trio would be double dipping with Magical Stitches. So either way, whichever one I can fit in.
Okay.
I would stitch on the Barbara Anna Light because it's related to 2 other Barbara Annas that I'm stitching. And not only that, it's also got this archway of the vine with the berries and the leaves that are in the goose one.
Awesome. Nice and close.
The key. There we go.
That's the, I am going to double dip with the Farmhouse Christmas because I will be stitching on it anyway. And I'm about to finish the tree farm. I'll be starting on Cock-a-doodle-doo. So that's my one. 14-year-old Mahatma Gandhi entered into an arranged marriage with 13-year-old Katsura Mukherjee in keeping with Indian custom. The couple stayed together for the remainder of their lives. Before Gandhi took a vow of celibacy in 1906, he and Bach had 4 sons. Stitch on a whip that you can tie into some form of custom.
I got a good one for that one. Hang on, I gotta find it though. Where'd my envelope go? Where did it go? Okay, so I'm Native American, and one of our Indian customs is we have Indian powwows, you know, where they dance and all of that. So I'm going to work on Dance of the Roses. So I just got a message from Lucy. She's giving me a hint about the new challenge they literally just put up like a few minutes ago. So when we get ready to send my sign, let me know because I've got a hint for us.
Okay. Struggling a little bit with this one.
You still have Paris or anything to work on?
I have Pretty Little Paris. How would that
Well,
be?
you have you also have patriotic designs. We have a custom of celebrating the 4th of July
Or your
or
autumn
Christmas.
wreath, or your
Autumn wreath. We have Thanksgiving for autumn.
Yep. Anything Halloween.
Wait, isn't today June? Isn't today June 21st? Isn't today the summer solstice?
Yeah.
Today or tomorrow?
Today, the 21st. Yeah.
21st. It's the summer solstice. So today's the longest day. Oh man, that means the days are gonna start getting shorter tomorrow. No.
It's going to start getting longer tomorrow, Natalie.
Autumn wreath.
You could.
Because autumn and Thanksgiving, things like that.
Lots of autumn customs. Well, there are lots of customs associated with playing golf. Is what happens at St Andrews. The Royal and Ancient, it's the home of all of those customs. So that's what I would be stitching.
Well, oh, hold on. I haven't changed my picture. Bad me.
Lisa.
No, geez. Letting the team down. Now I don't know which side it's on. I think it's in this one.
I'm having a hot flash.
Oh, that's not good. Doing that to you.
They're not good.
I'm thinking of, again, because I really, really like to double dip as much as possible. And with it heading to the end of the month, I'm really wanting to minimize. Plus, I'm going away for a retreat on the weekend. So I want to minimize what I'm carrying. I'm thinking about doing the Little House Neighborhood because it's got 2 friends and the friends go and have afternoon tea at each other's house, which is a custom that we do in my culture. Go pop around for a cup of tea with a mate.
Yep.
Okay. Sigmund Freud married Martha Bernays and fathered 6 children. Given Freud's intensive theories on sexually fraught parent-child relationships, he doled out deliberately distant displays of affection towards the kids at home. To avoid the intimacy of hugs or kisses, he instead pinched his children's cheeks with his thumb and forefinger. Put stitches into a whip you felt emotionally distanced from.
Oh, well, you know what? I think I may use this one just and might have to do penalty stitches because, dear God, George has been driving me crazy.
I think you can be emotionally distant from George anyway.
I can,
think you need
because seriously, y'all, look, I'm stitching that spot right there. Can you see that? Where that little square is? It's so boring. It's brown, brown, and more brown. I'm so bored with it.
I don't know.
And I
Autumn wreath,
decided-
autumn wreath.
Well, I was
Or
going to
you
say,
could do legendary creatures because you don't like
Yeah.
it.
and that's what
And
I
you
was
can
thinking.
double dip that.
Double dip that really easily with the one you don't like in magic, which is what
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. I'm
Because then it's
gonna,
the same stitches.
yeah, I'm double dipping with magical stitches with my I don't want to do it whip.
And you just have to do an extra 100 or however many more you feel like doing on the piece that you're emotionally distanced from.
Yeah, and I'll be bringing that with me to that retreat that we're going to, Lisa.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yep, all good. Okay, so Jim Henson, who created Sesame Street, sought to make learning fun at home and on screen. They had 5 children, and his oldest son Brian said he was one of those rare parents who was always ready to play a game. Stitch on a whip that's been so enjoyable you felt like it was playtime to work on it. And this would be really easy to double dip with your favourite whip from Magical Stitches.
I could use my Yellowstone. But you know what? Another piece, I really do. This one is so easy to stitch. I really don't have to think about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like it sometimes when I don't have to think about something because it's just no back stitching.
Yeah.
You know, it's just solid stitching. So yeah. So I may use this one or I could use my Yellowstone.
I'm going to use Magic Study, definitely.
Okay.
I would be using Shakespeare's Fairies.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Mhm.
And I would be doubling up with something that brings out my best and doing bird in hand. That's it for Daily 30.
And remember, that's a closed group. You can't get in. This is mainly to help those that either are in the group or just need to understand double dipping a little bit better, in that we use the same stitches for both Magical Stitches and Daily 30 or any other challenge groups that are out there that you may be in. The next challenge group we'll talk about is Enchanted Stitches. They have been working on Monsters Inc. this month, and it's the last week, I think. No, we have, yeah, this next week is last week of June. It's been a month, y'all. Okay. Number 1, the CDA, or Child Detection Agency, is responsible for searching and taking away any type of child that she wrote containment, she meant contaminant. Anyways, each wear biohazard suits to avoid contamination. Stitch on any whip that the title starts with the letters C.
Hang on.
D,
Sammy,
or
stop for a second. Stop, Sammy. Sammy, stop. You went really weird. Can you read that again, please? Because you kind of paused.
It was fine here.
Oh, I couldn't, or was it just me? Okay, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Because I don't know what the prompt is.
The letters of
Stitch on a whip that the title name starts with the letters C, D, or A.
C, D, or A.
Natalie first.
Oh, golly, you have put me on the spot. C, D, or A. C, D.
Do they
or
have penalty?
Yes.
I think I would need to have panel. Oh, no, here we go. I've got it. It's Calla Lily by Black Swan. Here she is.
beautiful.
Yep. C for Calla Lily.
All right, mine's very easy because I can double dip my Caprice. She starts with a C.
Vicky?
I would probably have to use Celtic Autumn.
That would work.
I could double dip her.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to go with Autumn Wreath because I don't have a C. So, but Autumn Wreath.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sully break the all-time scare record before Randall. Stitch on a whip that has numbers visibly on it. The stitches don't have to be on the numbers, but you have to see numbers in the whip.
Oh, yes.
Why are you hiding, Lisa?
Modern folk embroidery.
All right. St. Andrews has numbers right down the very bottom.
Oh.
In the information right down the bottom.
My advent calendar.
I'm looking at Magic Study, but I don't see any numbers.
Weird, but
I could do Shores of Hawk Run Hollow because there's a date in there.
yeah. Well, you need to bring that one out, so that would be good.
Yeah, and I actually had a question on this the other day, so I'll explain where you can see it. I'm doing this big block in the middle that has the ship. And where these little animals are, I'm actually going to put this first block, so the lighthouse and everything. And then where this house is, I'll be doing this ship with all the information, and I'm going to be putting in my husband's grandfather passed away last year, and he was in the Navy. So I'm going to put like his rank and when he died and that sort of thing.
Oh, that's sweet.
Awesome.
4 blocks right here.
Yeah. Lovely. Great idea.
That's lovely.
Okay. Boo lovingly refers to Sully as Kitty. Stitch on a whip that contains an animal.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? My photos. I would stitch on Anzac, which is full of animals. Animals, animals everywhere.
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 I would double dip, of course, as I do, with bird in hand, because I've actually finished stitching the big horse. And I made my daughter's day yesterday, because it was this morning. She came out and saw the horse sitting there. She went, "Mummy, you stitched a horse," because since we found horses in the neighbour's paddock, she's all obsessed with horses. So I said, "Yes, I stitched you a horse, darling."
So I was looking at Magic Study. Is that a flying cat in there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, but so I could use Magic Study. I could double dip or triple dip with my Heinzit, the Santa Claus, because it has reindeer. I could do my Advent calendar. So it would just be what I needed to work on at that precise moment in time.
You could do your
George too, because there's
National
horses in George.
and your
I use my
Yellowstone.
national park. Yeah. So can y'all tell that I like to do work with animals?
Yeah, I would probably go Magic Study for that one, although I could use Legendary Creatures, Tired Trio, pretty much any of them that I need to stick in. Okay, last one. In the locker room, Mike asks Sully if he can use his odorant spray. Mike has 4 to choose from: smelly garbage, old dumpster, low tide, or wet dog. Mike chose wet dog. Which would you choose? Stitch on a whip that relates to one of those scents.
Ooh, I would say I would go back to Anzac. Some pretty smelly animals there, I reckon.
Yeah. I would be doubling up with this one, because I would also be probably going wet dog, farmhouse Christmas. I mean, there is at least a dog in one of them. And I'll be stitching in all the sheepy ones, so they stink.
Mm-hmm. And a dairy, when it's in use, is pretty smelly too.
I would probably go with my Advent calendar because it's nothing but animals, and they all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a dog on there. So yeah.
Legendary Creatures, because I'm pretty sure the Loch Ness would smell like low tide, if not dog. I mean, so Yeah.
But I was thinking you're going to say Shores of Hawkrun because it has the water in it.
True. I could do low tide there too.
Yep.
Okay. That is it for Enchanted Stitches. We now have a few semi-same things going on.
That's right. We do. So I might start with alphabet soup. We're in the middle of M. So we need to stitch on a whip that either has something starting with the letter M, that it starts with the letter M, or it has the publisher name starting with M, or the designer starts with M. Lisa.
I was originally going to start with my Maidens of the Season by Mirabilia, but I don't know if I have enough time to start them this month. It'll depend on how I go the rest of the time we've got. Do you know what date it finishes on? I know it started a few days ago. Have a look at that while I'm talking.
Yeah,
so I was
know
thinking, when is it? What date?
It ends at the end of this month because July end starts soon. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was thinking my caprice that I'm already stitching this week is by Mirabilia. I think, unless she's by Nora. So, my choice.
Your choice.
Well, it'll be chosen depending on if she's Mirabilia or Nora. Either way, she'll slot into the N, if not the M.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Vicky.
Mary Mouse.
What are you going to do when you finish all them, Vicky?
You know, I'm going to dig out. Hey, I have got an entire alphabet village already started in there. So I'm ready to go for another alphabet.
Okay. Sammy?
I work on mini Alice in a Dolly Dream all the time.
Yep.
And I will be working on Mirabilia Shakespeare's Fairies. Okay, what else do we have at the moment? Are we still in Oceania? No, Oceania started.
We're in Latin America still. We're about to finish Latin America and move to Oceania. So next week we probably have to talk Oceania. But for the moment, we're still in our Latin America, which we sort of went through last week, I think.
Through last time.
Yeah.
So we don't need to touch on that. What else is happening with?
We're starting to prep for Uno.
That's right, Uno. So Uno needs to be kind of landed and sorted and figured out this week. We don't need to start stitching on it, but it's time to start thinking about the 4 whips that we will use to play Uno. They can be any 4 that we choose. Lisa, what are you thinking about?
My 4 Unos. Oh, I have to look up my post to see what 4 Unos I was thinking about. Give me a moment.
Oh,
I'll tell you they are. Okay. Alice by Mirabilia, because she's one of my scavenger hunt pieces. So anything I do in Uno can double dip with scavenger hunt. And the same way We Forget by Paddock Lane Designs, because it's another one of my scavenger hunt pieces and I need to do some work on it. And then I thought, well, why not just do Anzac by Long Dog, because I want to get some more work done on that and I haven't touched it since May. And then my linen and thread sale that I'm working on, and I'm not almost up to date. I'm halfway through May. So I thought I'd try and pick things that I need to work on.
Yeah. Vicky?
Okay. George, because there's George, my Advent animals. A new one that I'm tossing into the mix for this one because I promised to send this to Sarah at our Stitching Kingdoms is my Violet. So I thought I'd go ahead and make me work on her next month. And then Winter in the Village, because that was one I had set to finish this year, and yeah, it's bad.
I kind of went with the whole double dip with scavenger hunt, since I'm working on that every week anyway, and this will push me to do a little bit more on them, especially because a lot of the stitches that we're going to need to do for Uno is 1 or 200, and since 200 would get a scavenger hunt done 1 or 2 times of working on it, and you've got one. So my first two are Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream and Forever and Ever, because those are two of my scavenger hat pieces. I did not include Autumn Wreath because I'm literally just down to the back stitching. That thing will be finished in no time. Then for whip number 3, I included Pretty Little Paris because it's got a lot of chunks of color, so it'll stitch kind of quickly, and it also is one I'm trying to finish. So I definitely should get it finished in the month of July if Uno goes my way. And whip number 4 is Ladybug from Nora Corbett. Again, because the bulks of color. So if I need to work on something else for homework that night, I can knock that 100 out for Uno, wait for my next information, and then be working on something else.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's good. My whip number 1 is a nameplate that I'm doing for my niece Zoe. So it's very large chunks of letters and colours, which is great. I'm going to be doing my Bloom and Grow cell by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I've got some catching up to do for that. Shakespeare's Fairies and the Linen and Thread cell. What else is that? There's still this or that that's still going, which is light or dark. We've talked about.
Oh, I totally forgot about that one. I think I even have a post on it. Uh-oh.
But you've got time. You got the rest of the week, Vicky. So we're good.
Yep. So, Lisa, did you talk about light and dark?
I didn't talk about light and dark. I think I did it back in the first week, and I did my South American Angel because she's light and bright and colourful. I try and knock those ones over early in the month so I don't have to worry about them because then they're done. There's no counting. It's just you just do some progress, starting and ending. It's an easy entry in their raffle at the end of the year. And they are also a closed group now, people, by the way, just in case you haven't heard that.
Yeah.
As far as I know. So you can't join if you're not there already. Vicky, did you have a hint on something?
I do. Hang on a minute. I'm looking something up because don't forget they're having the Halloween piece, the haunting. So you need to, I'm looking at my piece that I'm going to be using for that one. Sorry. Yes, I do have a hint. So it looks like we have a new challenge this month that is called, where did it go? Semi-Sane Summer Chores. So I messaged Lucy and said, hey, I'm right now we're in the process of doing the video. Can I give them a hint? And so she gave me a hint. So if you're watching this video and you're in semi-sane, then you have a hint on on the new challenge. So it looks like we have a chore chart because you know how much we love chore charts as children, right? It says summer chore chart, tasks to do. Now, I have no details. I just know what the chart says. So I don't know what the stitch account is. I don't know any of that. So it says 1, wash the windows. 2, weed the garden. 3, clean out the kitchen. 4, clean the car. 5, paint the house. 6, whip. That's a chore.
I would love it if those chores you had to work on things that suited those chores. That would just be so me with all my houses and gardens and whatevers. And for the kitchen, we'd have those cakes that we're doing, Natalie and Vicky. But who knows if it might just be stitch to count numbers. Who knows? But oh, that sounds enticing.
It does sound really interesting. Good.
Because this week we're still just finishing off our school report card for them.
Right.
That's
So we also have that Natalie, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just taking over for you.
no, that's all right. I did forget about the Halloween
So
one.
Are any of you guys doing the haunting of Semi-Sane?
I don't have any Halloween or spooky whips, so I'm not going to be doing that one.
I have 2 spooky whips, and I'm very excited because one of them I just discovered yesterday is now available on Pattern Keeper, so that's going to make it so much more appealing to work on.
Okay.
Well, it can't be started. It has to be new.
Yeah.
It has to be either a new page. If you're doing a full coverage, it has to be a new page. or a new start.
But
And
it's
they're going to give you a code word on July 1st that you got to put on
but
there.
there's a certain number of stitches minimum to do, isn't there?
It says a new page. So you got like a hey page finish you have to do, I guess, or a project page.
So it can be any project. Doesn't matter how big it is. I thought there was the reason I didn't do the one in January was it had to be a certain size.
Also, this time around, we are allowing page finishes to count, but it has to be a brand new page, and we'll be doing a code word that will be revealed on July 1st.
Yeah, no, it's the whole piece is what I'm looking at, not pages. It's
Okay.
because I have a Halloween piece that's new and in my whip basket ready to start, but I don't know if it's very big. I'll show you. Find it.
It says we are also taking away the minimum, so no need.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, that's okay. Well, then I'll be doing it then, because I do have a piece that I can do, which is this one. Because last time there was a minimum and it made it too difficult for me to find a piece.
I didn't finish mine. I started it, but I didn't finish it.
I have this one, a very scary Halloween mini series. And see, there are 3 smalls. So if there's no minimum, I can definitely do that.
Okay. This is the one I'm starting. I probably won't finish it, but I'm going to start it because I love it. And I have a weird green piece of fabric, and I think that'll look good on green. So this is Ghoul School by Glendon Place.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. We'll be able to work on those together. What about you, Sammy?
I can't guarantee that I'm going to participate, but if I were, and it has to be a new start, right?
Or a new page finish, new page
Well,
start.
I don't have anything spooky for that. But I do have Witch Better Have My Candy.
Oh, that's cute.
And if there's no minimum, you'd be able to do that because it's very cute.
Yep.
Now, Natalie has nothing because she's Australian like me and we just don't do it. The only reason I own that project is that I started getting into everything last year and knew I needed something Halloween-y to get through all the challenges.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
Your Shakespeare's fairies could pass off as Halloween-y because they've got those
They would.
orange lanterns. But you've already started them.
I've already started it, and I'm not going to restart it.
And
No.
finish it in 6 months.
Yes.
A little intimidating.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it all.
I think that's what we've got now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
alrighty, well that is it for this week. We look forward to seeing you again, same time, same place next week.
Hopefully. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.